This morning there will be a little bit of suggestions for the meditation. If this is useful to you, you follow the words. One very important aspect of our practice is the approach. It also concerns what's happening now. We can be aware of what is going on now in our body, in our mind, with mindfulness. Just be there, just be here, and listen, observe what's happening inside your body. What's the quality of your mind? Yesterday we considered different ways to direct our attention. So this morning we will start with the different possibilities according to our situation. So the idea first is to make us feel secure, happy, and well. So for this reason, we can direct our attention to people who have loved us, cared for us, teachers, parents, friends, and then with their good wishes towards us, we can fill our body and our mind with this good intention. Taking care of our body, taking care of our mind, so that we are happy without conflict, so that we understand ourselves. These qualities, you can fill your body with them. If you feel so well also, you can express with your heart, with your mind, all these wonderful emotions of love throughout the room, to whomever you like to send them. Practice of metta, practice also of compassion. When you see suffering either in yourself or suffering either in other people, other beings, you have compassion. Sometimes also, like a way to direct our attention will be in regard to what inspires us, which type of symbol or person brings us a lot of faith, a lot of confidence with the quality of their life, with the example of their life. It can be the Buddha, all the qualities that this human being had and manifest in his life. We can aspire to that, we can be inspired with that. We can bring up again these qualities inside our heart and develop a sense of confidence. We are also able to walk on this path. We have an idea which brings us in the present moment with what we have now. So inspiration with good qualities in your heart. As mentioned yesterday, now we are dealing with the 4 types of protections, And we will see how the approach with the third one that brings some qualities of not so attractive aspect of bodies. So in the case that you are very attached and very sensually excited with the body of somebody else, then you can just see these people or these beings as these skeletons that you see in front of you. Or just as bags of organs and meat. So just in case you feel to develop these three perceptions, then you just direct your attention towards these and it will protect you. It will stabilize you. It will also make you happy and balanced, bringing clarity in your mind. The third type of protection that we have, and that is our main theme in this retreat, is the meditation on death. So you look around and see beings that have been enjoying sensual pleasures, enjoying life here or there, and they passed away. All of them passed away, died. So you direct your attention, you stimulate this sense of urgency that brings us to immediacy, to the present. Now, death may come. Death is certain. Death will certainly happen. So again and again you direct your mind in this way. You can do also other types of reflections that will stimulate this sense of urgency, this quality of presence, and also the wisdom, the knowledge that will tell you in which way you can direct your life now in this situation. So this morning also, I would like to suggest, a story that brings the situation of a dying person, and that gives us the advice that came from the Buddha himself. This advice was given to a very important personage in the Buddhist history. He was very faithful, he was very generous, he was very predominant into supporting the community of the monastics as well as being a very good practitioner. His name was Anatta Pindika. So at a certain point, in the last days of his life, he became very sick. And then he was on his deathbed, we could say, afflicted with all kinds of very painful feelings, with also disturbing emotion because of these pains. And you can imagine, in these days in India, they didn't have so much knowledge about anesthetic or painkillers. So they were facing the bare experience, unpleasant experience of death. Very unpleasant. So this man on his deathbed. No, imagine that you may be in this situation on your deathbed. You are sick, the body is collapsing, the feelings are painful, unbearable. What do? You cannot change that. But you can change the attitude, the qualities of your mind. So what were the specific advice that were given to this man? Householder, you should train thus. I will not cling to the I, and my consciousness will not be dependent on the I. So now we are going to go through the 6 sense bases. So we have the I, we have the ear. Put your attention there. Just be aware that you have these physical, sensitive organs. The eye, the ear, the nose, the mouth, the tongue, and the body. So these 6 senses comprising the aspect of the mind, you let it go. Your consciousness will not be dependent on these bases, on these physical bases. And again, you are on your deathbed. All your relatives and friends are gone. You are just by yourself, maybe with a friend who is suggesting you how you could face this moment in regard to these 6 senses. Then the instructions go on in regard to the objects of these senses. That means the visible forms, shape, colors that your eyes may see, the different sounds that you may hear, the different smells, the different tastes, the different tactile impressions that your body may feel, the different sense impressions that your mind also, your consciousness is experiencing. So these 6 sense objects I will train myself not to be dependent on them. My consciousness will not be dependent on these. And you let go. You let go. Then what are the objects, what are the qualities of the consciousness that we experience? Every sense organ, every sense doors awakens the different types of consciousness. So we have the eye consciousness, the ear consciousness, the nose consciousness, the taste consciousness, the body consciousness, the mind consciousness. So all these different consciousness that arise in our mind, we let them go. We are not dependent on that. We let it be. We don't cling to these things. Another aspect of the same practice is related to the experience itself. This is the sense impressions and the feelings that are arising from them. The experience of past contact, the feelings of pain, of pleasure, of indifference, neutral feelings of Vedana. So the experience itself is the fundamental thing to which our consciousness needs to learn to be independent. So go through your body, experience what is there everywhere. Bring the awareness to the mind also that is experiencing these things and be detached. Let it go. Your mind is not going to be dependent on that. Whatever happens, whatever experience you have, the mind does not depend on this. Maybe you feel some release now. You are free from this body somehow. And what remains is the mind with all the different dimensions in which it can go. Peacefulness of love or spaciousness of immense, infinite consciousness. Spaciousness of space itself. Or maybe the experience of nothingness. Your mind experiences or may experiences nothingness, emptiness. So regarding these immaterial states that maybe you experience, maybe you don't experience, it doesn't matter. Now you experience what is it. Whatever it is, your consciousness is not going to be dependent on that. You let go. So maybe you are dead now. Maybe not. To be aware of your body and just see, just invite the experience of a possible death when it comes to you. The physical experience. You can start by the feet and your legs and see the life faculty just leaving the body up to your knees. There is a letting go. There is a kind of independence that relates to all the experiences there. You are no more the body is dying. From your knees to the legs, to the hips, the lower part of the body. Your attention is moving up in the abdomen, in the back, upper back, the torso, the shoulders, from the hands up to the neck. You are somehow leaving the body. From the neck to the mouth, in the head, on the top of the head. What remains is pure awareness, pure consciousness. From there, You have a perspective of seeing your body just lying there like a corpse on your bed or on your floor, on the floor. You just see this body of yours being dead. The experience was not so bad after all. You probably feel very peaceful. You don't have the burden of this material phenomena to carry around you. So the perspective, the distance you can have with your body, you can also have with your mind. Whatever emotions or type of consciousness you have, you let them go. You look at them as if you are not there anymore. You are dead already, physically dead, mentally dead, but there is still a kind of consciousness. How do you feel about that? Being dead, but still being alive, knowing. Now somehow we can come back to our posture. We can come back to our body to feel this aliveness inside ourselves. And from this or these suggestions, we are invited also to question the notion that we make out of ourselves and to consider that death itself, life itself, is related to the notion we have about ourself, our identity. So The investigation that can go on also with our practice today is, where's the I? Is what I call mine, I, is something substantial, or is it just a creation? If it is simply a creation, then there is nothing, there is nobody who is getting born, and there is nobody who is dying. You just have life, only life. What we do out of it is our choice. It is our responsibility. But with this type of meditation, a very broad spectrum of possibilities are open to us. Being detached, understanding the conditionality of